I used to never bother with journaling until I realized how much we hold in our heads that we don't really access until we start physically writing. I'm in the last year of my 20s and it's just made me realize how fast time is going. So I'm allocating more of my time towards creating things and writing.
I can't say that I'm quite there with the daily journal prompts, but something I have been doing is just writing down my entire brain dump in the morning. It really helps that this nook is the relax and reflect spot in my apartment. Having a designated place that you can go and feel that comfort and familiarity is something really special. It does take time to find what works for you, but somewhere that's really sunny with a big cozy chair is the best for the morning. I'm so grateful that I got to start my day like this on this particular weekend before I was gonna go out and about and do a bunch of errands. I did actually end up journaling more that day, which you'll see more of later in the video. Another thing that I'm trying to implement for slowing down and reflecting a little bit more, as silly as this sounds, I have tried taking more care in my morning makeup routine because I feel like it's important to be mindful of the products that you're using. I have tried my best to do mostly clean makeup. Otherwise, I just want really high quality items.
My goal is actually to keep my makeup routine as similar as possible day in and day out so that I'm not wasting a bunch of product and so that I'm not also falling into the trend of buying things as I see it. I think it's really important to figure out what works for you and test out items because you've gone, tried it out physically and ended up really liking it versus seeing things floating around online. So today is just kind of a reset day. I've started to try to explore the neighborhood more and find like local spots. I really want to find a coffee place that I can go to just on the weekends. I am trying to make my own coffee here, but because we kind of just got the kitchen a little bit set up, I haven't gotten fully into my routine. So I found a cute little place on one of the main roads with a bunch of different coffee beans, and I just love when you just have an abundance of selection of coffee beans that are infused with all different kinds of aromatics like hazelnut or chocolate or Madagascar vanilla. Like they had some really interesting blends, so I have to check that out. I don't know if I'm gonna get a bag of coffee yet, but I could try to do that and then use my drip coffee machine, so we'll see.
It got a little bit more overcast, but it's 50 degrees out. Like I'm not wearing a coat in New York, which I haven't done in months. So nice. So I came to Central Park and I just brought my sketchbook, some pens, and I'm gonna do my journal pages. Like it is so crazy how refreshing it feels after even like 10 minutes. I usually spend 30 minutes to an hour, but just doing something outside that's mindful and focusing on something that's not a screen. But I do feel like photography, taking videos and taking pictures doesn't count because you're in a more mindful act of creating something. But when I'm out here, besides taking pictures and videos, like I truly focus on just this and my coffee and just taking in the fresh air and people watching. A little dog came up running to me. It was so cute. This is the journal page that I'm working on. I did this one for January and I'm gonna do the same thing for February. And hopefully just finish this outside and then just do some more errands today.
So I spent the next about 30 minutes drawing in my journal this February monthly little things recap page. I had done the same for January and I even posted it on social media, and it seems like a lot of people resonated with an easy journal spread idea. So I put the month and then just 4 little squares where I drew things from my camera roll that brought me joy. I think it turned out so cute. It's really simple to do and it doesn't take that long.
I just finished drawing outside, which was so nice. I made a little short form video for it, and the sun just came out. But I'm gonna go home and make lunch, do some errands, putter around the new apartment, which I honestly love doing.
I had just finished catching up with a friend at coffee and I city biked down to the West Village. I realized that this park was completely empty. So instead of just continuing to bike to just get from point A to point B, I sat down, reflected on this journal page I had written in LA, and I just tried to take in the sunshine despite the cold. That's why I bring my journal with me, so that it keeps me off of my phone.
I love New York in the summer and spring, and I'm so excited for it to be warm again. But there's kind of something nice about sitting in a park in the winter because you get it all to yourself. It's about 6:23 a.m. and I am just getting ready to go to the office. I have this little jacket that I got from Bloomingdale's. It's the perfect jacket to just throw over any outfit. And then I have this old Alice and Olivia dress that has a really nice pattern and texture. These two necklaces, this one is pure gold. It's just like a little chain. I got it at a flea market in Williamsburg actually. And when I got this necklace, I also got these earrings from the same vendor. This is my newest addition alongside this little diamond necklace. These two rings are actually just from Missouri. This one's a little short, so it sometimes tucks into the dress crew neck, so whatever.
This chapter in my life from earlier this year was so artsy, I feel like, because I had spent the past few weekends really focusing on doing creative things that brought me joy. This was from a painting class that I took in Tribeca at the New York Academy of Art. It was the first time I had ever used oil paints in my life, and I learned so much.
Another Monday progress shot. So last week, the colors are kind of subtle, but it's slowly coming together. Back at my apartment. It's 10 p.m. The painting class ends so late, but I was wearing my glasses. I'm always glad that I did the painting class, but it ends super late and it's a Monday. But taking yourself to a class, it does make you feel so productive. So it's a good way to spend time. Like, it's definitely a good use of time, but now I need to get some sleep. I just finished getting ready and I started filming a brand deal that I have actually, which is so exciting because the brand deal is all about promoting how paper can just make you feel better, disconnected from screens. It gives you just time to detox from so much digital noise. I actually really love doing this because I journal all the time. I always tell my friends like how much I love sketching, journaling, doodling outside, reading physical books. I used to really be big on Kindle, but now I'm kind of in a paperback renaissance. So I'm in process of doing this page. This is for a video concept where they want to kind of show how using paper can help you feel more connected. And I decided to do a recipe drawing because one, drawing out a recipe and handwriting can actually improve your memory and retention because it involves more than just kind of loosely and passively consuming something on a screen. Writing it down can actually help you remember the steps. And you can also have this as like a keepsake for yourself, and you can share it, scan it, and print it out and give it to family and friends. Like, isn't that so cute? So I started drawing out this recipe page, and honestly, this is actually the first time that I've ever done a recipe drawing, but I think that it turned out so cute. Like, I'm honestly really proud of myself because usually my other sketchbook pages kind of look, you know, they're more like, I don't even know how I would describe it, but I haven't really done like a doodling recipe thing in a long time. I have a lot of flowers like this. It's a little different from this more playful version, but I am obsessed. I experimented with a couple of different fonts and styles for the banner, but I think that this actually turned out really well. So I just spent probably like 2 hours brainstorming and then drawing it out as a rough draft with pencil and then going over it with fine liners. I use these little micron pens. Because this page is so small, like I really have to focus. It actually takes a lot of energy, but I'm almost done. All I have to do is fill out the recipe steps. I still have a lot of work to do, and I'm using this camera to film the vertical video. We'll see how much footage I end up getting for both. That's one thing that I'm learning about making videos and content. Storage, memory cards, iCloud, external hard drives, all of this footage, it eats up memory. So I actually have to be a little bit more selective in what I film. It's almost 6 p.m. and I finished all the work that I had today for the journaling page, but oh my God, one thing I didn't realize, this camera is a Canon G7X Mark II, which is the lower end. I think there's now a Mark III. I don't know if there's a 4.5, but it turns out that this camera has audio problems. When I was editing the footage on my laptop, I was like, oh my God, the audio, like maybe in this video that I'm gonna post on YouTube, the audio is gonna be off. I need to go to the camera store because I've been delaying getting equipment for my Canon big camera. Basically, I filmed on the Canon G7X because it's more lightweight and portable and the lens is a lot wider. And the only other lens that I have for this camera is a 24mm, so it's also still not wide enough. But I didn't realize that the audio was gonna be so drastically bad on this camera. I used Adobe Premiere Pro and I auto enhanced the audio. It definitely makes it a little bit better than what this camera does, but it's not amazing. I'm also gonna get a fuzzy microphone. And then lastly, I think I need a new tripod because this camera just has a lot of weight to it. So any tripod where I try to put it vertical like this, it like topples over. For people that are very into like video editing and cameras, I feel like you would get it. Anyways, this is where I finished. I need to finish this page tomorrow, which I will do. And I also have to film a third video for this brand. Today has just been an anomaly. I have never spent this much time just like journaling and drawing. So this is a very hands-on day.